Hello, welcome back to another video, and this time I'm going to be just talking really about the future of Matic and what's likely to take place in the next few months, rather than just the technical analysis side of things and where we're going in the short term. Long term, because the coin is so new, it's difficult to really map out its trajectory on a technical analysis basis. We can really just look at where it's going and where it's likely to go short term. But long term, what we've got to look at, we've got to dig a little deeper, we've got to do our research, we've got to look at what Matic is actually doing itself as a company and where it's heading. And there's a few ways we can do that. Obviously, you can stay tuned to their Twitter feed, you can look at their roadmaps, and you can look at their partnerships and what their partnerships are up to. So one thing that happened just recently is that Matic and Chainlink have budded up and are working together to basically speed up dApps for Chainlink. And who have Chainlink recently partnered up with is Google, which is an absolute beast of a company, and look at what that did to Chainlink. So this is the announcement that they'll be working alongside Google and one of their Google Clouds. That's all it takes, boys and girls, for that to take place. I mean, what a move. That was about 70% gains there from top to bottom, and Chainlink had already been doing very well off the back of the Matic sell-off. I think a lot of people who sold Matic at the top of its height, which is around about this area here, poured their money into Chainlink, giving it a nice boost. If they had held on to that, I mean, they'd be doing very well. That's about over 100% gains there. You've got doubling their money. And Chainlink obviously now is having a consolidation point, which is to be expected after something like that, but it's a pretty healthy consolidation, bouncing here, even making trying to recover from its all-time high. Not quite managing it though, but not sinking back down to where it came from. I would be surprised if this coin consolidates any lower than around $1.40, unless some terrible news comes out about it. I think it's going to hold its price quite well. We are trading beneath a lot of the moving averages, but and we're probably going to see further consolidation from here. But it's holding its price very well, and it's very unlikely to come back down here or anywhere near there. Anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at is that Chainlink and Matic are in some form or another working alongside each other. But on top of that, Matic is not looking as healthy as this. Now, if you were to go back in time, and I mean a few months back in time, Matic is very healthy. It did a 10x, okay, so a 10x is enormous. What do you expect from a coin that's done a 10x? You expect it to consolidate, and you expect it to consolidate dramatically. That was a parabolic top that it had there. Probably a lot of that would have been FOMO, so it needs to recover from that, and that's probably going to take a little longer than most people would like. But both of these coins are doing extremely well. For people to be talking about Matic like it's over, it's not over, it's barely started. And what we need to do now is we need to look at the roadmap and where we're going to go from here. So a lot of the roadmap from here is all about sort of building the coin, well, building the company up, really. It's not really being utilised yet, and it's only until mainnet is released next month that Matic's going to start to see some kind of real, actual strength in its company. Once mainnet is released, then it can be utilised as a blockchain. Matic needs to be utilised as a blockchain. It needs other people to use their mainnet, and only when they're being adopted as effective, fast sidechain for dozens, hopefully hundreds by the end of the year of dApps, will the coin really start to take on some value. A lot of people I see on social media talking about how Matic it's over for Matic, and this news about Binance not allowing US customers to trade is going to affect its price because people aren't going to be trading it. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that is true. I mean, there's no question that the price action is dictated a lot of the time by trade, but also it's dictated by value, as we saw with Chainlink. I mean, that is a clear indication of how a coin is tied into its company's value. the value skyrockets. Now with Matic, the way it's going to be working is once mainnet's released, and shortly after that we should have staking implemented, so we can use proof of staking. That will hold its price, and the reason it will start to hold its price, first of all, is once people start using it for staking, it's an incentive to hodl coins. Okay, the more coins you have, if you don't know how staking works, you hold coins as a proof of stake. You contribute to using their sidechain, their blockchain, just by using your computer or whatever device you're using to stake with a certain amount of coins in it. You then get paid a certain amount of Matic coins for keeping your computer on and contributing to crunching their numbers on their blockchain. That's how it works. So it's an incentive for you to hold coins rather than trade them, which means that those coins will temporarily be off the market. They're not being used in trading, and the more you have, the more you get back, because it's like a high interest account, really. I think most proof of stake you'll be looking to get 5 to 10. I mean, if you have super nodes or whatever, you're sometimes looking at 25% annual interest just from holding and staking. I don't know exactly how much Matic is going to be giving you back, or even how many Matic coins you have to have in order to qualify for staking. But the point I'm getting at is staking incentivizes people to hold their coins rather than trade them, essentially taking them off the market, meaning that there'll be more people buying them and less people selling them. Holding its price, every time it makes a bump, it's less likely to make a deeper correction. So that will keep the price moving up, and any consolidation will be shorter than the previous gains. So moving the price up and constantly going up because more people will be interested in staking. Simple as that. Also, the mainnet, once that's implemented, it means that their business can grow, because their business will grow by people utilizing their sidechain, so they can access the Ethereum blockchain for their dApps, and that will basically be the main point of Matic. That is what it's for. That's what they're there for. They're not really there to make you and me money. That's something we're doing as a matter of default. What they're there to do is solve an Ethereum blockchain issue by speeding up their dApps by using Matic as a sidechain. And at the moment, that's not possible because the mainnet's not been released. Until mainnet is released, that can't happen. So it's we're still at very early days. So for a coin to do 10x, which is obviously not 10x now because it did consolidate quite dramatically, but for a coin to do 10x before any of this is even possible, would suggest to me that it's got a long way to go and a lot more gains to be had. When I look at people's price predictions, talking about how Matic's going to grow, I mean, there's no question it will grow, but the momentum's not going to pick up towards anytime soon. The momentum is not going to be anything like what we've already seen for the rest of this year. Realistically, we're just trading around 2 cent at the moment, just above 2 cent. Until mainnet is released and staking is implemented, we're probably not going to be looking to reach our all-time high, which is around 4.5 cent. 4.5 cent will probably be met in a couple of months once mainnet's released, and once staking is implemented, then we are going to start to see some steady and steep growth at that point. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Like I say, there's a lot to be excited about with Matic, but you've got to be realistic about where it's going and where it's coming from. And that's how I see it. That's the next stage, and that's what we're looking at doing. So maybe in about 2 months' time, we'll probably beat our all-time high. But by the end of this year, if we do a 4x from here, bring us up to 8 cent or thereabouts, 8 or 9 cent, that's what I think we're likely to do by the end of this year. We need real growth. We need staking. We need other good news to come out. And it'll be less about trading sentiments and more about realistic growth of a company, rather than people buying and selling on Binance and other trading platforms. Anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more, and I hope you have a nice day.